Welcome back to Building Character, where we figure out how to play as your favorite fictional characters in Dungeons & Dragons. Remember, if you like and subscribe, you'll be able to turn invisible at will. Maybe. Today we're building Walking Thesaurus and alien murder machine Drax the Destroyer. Originally created in the comics as a being specifically meant to kill Thanos, in the movies he's just as eager, if a little less effective.
If you're gonna be dumb, you gotta be tough.
We'll start off with our goals for this build. First, we need enough strength to hold our own against a Titan and to hold our two big ol' swords. Next, we'll make sure that we can do things shirtless. You have some sensitivities after all. And finally, we'll make sure we can take just as much damage as we send out. For that, we'll use the standard point array from the player's handbook. Multi-classing shouldn't be a big deal unless you roll stats like hot garbage. First things first, strength. Drax earned the surname Destroyer. Next, constitution. Drax survives a ton of hits that would melt lesser creatures. Dexterity after that, he's pretty nimble for a big guy. Charisma will follow, he's a lovable oaf and an intimidating one. Wisdom isn't super high, not understanding idioms can lead to some bad insight checks, and intelligence will get dumped, he's got rocket for that. For race, I'm going with Goliath. You get +2 strength and +1 constitution. You're a natural athlete, giving you the athletic skill, and you have a large carrying capacity and stone's endurance. This lets you reduce damage by 1d12 plus your constitution modifier once per long rest. For background soldiers, get intimidation and athletics, but you've already got that, so sub it out for stealth. We're going to start off first level as a barbarian, giving us 2 skills from their list. Go with survival and animal handling, even though Rocket's more intelligent than most animals. You also get unarmored defenses, making your AC 10 plus your dexterity plus your constitution modifier, protecting you and your sensitivities. You also get rage, which lets you take half damage from bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage, gives you advantage on strength checks and saves, and adds +2 to damage with strength-based weapons. This lasts for a minute and drops early if you don't take damage or make an attack for a round. Bouncing over to fighter right away, you get a fighting style. 2-weapon fighting lets you add your ability modifier to the damage of your offhand attack. Remember, dual wielding means that you make one attack as your action and another as your bonus action. Use short swords for now, we'll beef them up in a second. You also get second wind, letting you heal 1d10 plus your fighter level as a bonus action once per long rest. Back to Barbarian now for Reckless Attack. It lets you make attacks with advantage, but enemies get advantage when attacking you next round. You also get Danger Sense, letting you roll dexterity saves with advantage as long as you can see the source of damage. Nothing goes over your head, your reflexes are much too fast. Third level barbarians can choose a primal path, and the totem warrior lets you choose a totem spirit, and bears are best, giving you resistance to every type of damage but psychic while you rage. Drax is basically a mama bear whose cubs are dead, which is sad, but hey, so is Drax. Fourth level barbarians can grab a feat. The dual wielder feat adds 1 to your AC while you're dual wielding, and you can dual wield any weapons that aren't two-handed. So turn those short swords into long swords and roll d8s instead of d6s. Back over to fighters, second level fighters get action search, letting you take an extra action once per long rest, letting you really let loose. Third level fighters can choose a martial archetype. The Brute from an Unearthed Arcana lets you add brute force to your hits, dealing an extra 1d4 damage when you land a hit, breaking down even the toughest of foes. Fourth level fighters can take another feat. The Tough feat gives you 2 HP for every level you have and every level you gain, so you can take as many hits as you want. Fifth level fighters get an extra attack, letting you attack twice with your action, and you can still make a third attack as a bonus action with the offhand weapon. Sixth level fighters get an ability score improvement. Round up your constitution and strength, we're going to get these to 20 as fast as possible. Seventh level brutes get brutish durability, letting you add a d6 to every saving throw. If it's a death save and that brings you above 20, it counts as a 20, meaning that you come back to life with 1 HP. 8th level fighters get an ability score improvement. Cap that strength for big damage with big swords. 9th level fighters get indomitable, letting you reroll a failed saving throw once per day. Pairing this with brutish durability and you're covered no matter what hits you. 10th level brutes get another fighting style. Great weapon fighting lets you reroll 1s and 2s on damage die with weapons you're wielding two-handed. So if someone knocks one of your swords away, you can still do plenty of work. Your brute force die also increases to a d6 for more work doing. 11th level fighters get another extra attack, so that's 3 attacks with your action and a 4th with your bonus action with the offhand weapon. Really just hack away there. 12th level fighters get an ability score improvement. More constitution makes your skin thicker for AC and HP. 13th level fighters get a second use of Indomitable, so don't worry about that fireball headed your way, you could take it. 14th level fighters get an ability score improvement. Constitution can be capped, so do that, and forget about silly things like damage and dying. 15th level brutes get devastating critical, letting you add your fighter level in damage when you land a crit. Considering you can give yourself advantage on all 4 of your attacks in a round with a reckless attack, these might show up pretty regularly. Our capstone is 16th level of fighter, giving us another ability score improvement. Round off anything odd here, particularly dexterity, it'll help your AC. Your brute force damage also increases to a d8. which transitions well into talking about how viable this build is. First, your damage is crazy high. With 4 attacks per round, you can deal 8d8 plus 28 damage per round while raging, and potentially add 16 to that with any crits. Speaking of rage, you get a crazy amount of resistances while raging, and plenty of HP even if you're not, with a high AC and Goliath abilities to help you take damage. Finally, you're a hell of a pack mule with a carrying capacity of 600 pounds. As far as weaknesses go, you have nothing to deal with creatures that resist physical damage. Late game, that's most things. If your DM gives you a magical weapon, most do, that won't be an issue, but we don't like depending on the DM here. You're also at a disadvantage against ranged or flying foes, considering you excel at close quarters combat. You're okay with ranged weapons, but nothing to write home about. Finally, you're vulnerable to psychic damage, and that tends to follow intelligence saves, which you're also bad at. Typically when the DM sees an Achilles type, they aim at the heel. But if they want to heal, hit them with a Batista bomb. I know that's not Drax lore, but who cares? Fillet the Mind Flayer and make the liches your bitches. Just remember that with all that destroying, your DM may need to raise the stakes to keep you challenged. Thanks for watching. We've got one more video coming out before Endgame tomorrow, and it's a little strange, but I think you might like it.